3 tips for parenting little ones after a spiritual experience. My name is Shauna, and if you're new here, I help people integrate their spiritual experiences and live full on in their intuition. So the first tip when parenting littles after a spiritual experience is to stay in your receptive mind rather than your doing active mind. During your spiritual experience, you dropped into that sense where you were receiving information. So be that way with your kiddo. There's a really popular phrase that works really well. I wonder. Whenever a question's asked, that's the best response. Number 2 is that your kiddos are probably as sensitive as you are now, but now you're really aware of energetics and sensitivities around you. So trust that you're now starting to feel the world the way that they do. Once my son was little, I picked him up from a new babysitter, and we spent the evening together. And that evening when I was trying to cuddle with him and put him to bed, he was crying, and I kept patting him and holding him and trying so hard to calm him. And my mind kept going, what happened at that babysitter? Maybe something happened that I didn't know about. And I got very, very anxious and was patting him, trying to calm him, and it wasn't working, and my mind started spinning. And then it occurred to me, oh, I might be contributing to this. So I took a deep breath, and I kept patting, and I calmed my own self and dropped into myself and into my own depth, that spiritual depth that I knew. And suddenly, he stopped crying. And he stopped, and he looked at me, and he snuggled right in. And I realized that my energy contributes greatly to his. Because kiddos are super energetically sensitive. They just arrived here. They're still tuned into spirit. And number 3 is to try to do self-care when you can. And I don't mean that needs to take a lot of time, because I know as parents we don't have a lot of time. But that it can be self-care just to allow yourself to drop into your core, bring your attention here for a moment. Because littles, they live in our belly, and then they start to live in these concentric circles around us, and they live in our etheric. So the more we can stay grounded and centered in that solidity, in that core of ourselves, the better off they're going to be as they circulate around us. Namaste, my friends. I hope this helps. Like this video. Follow me for more. Feel free to comment anything about your own parenting experiences in the comments. And blessings. Have a great day.